Phew, made it in time. Hi, guys. Welcome to the show. This is Monkey in the Morning. I'm your host, the Ranting Monkey. Hope you're well out there. I'm having an okay day, I think. Would have been here probably 10 minutes ago, but I was watching clips of Hassan Piker losing his fucking mind because he's a moron. My bad. My bad. I get a little bit of joy out of watching that guy lose his shit. It's funny to me because he's a moron, and the fact that he has so many followers is kind of gross to me. But I understand that a lot of America, especially young Americans, are really stupid. And well, it happens. Stupid will follow stupid, and boy, do they. Before the show, thank you so much for the feminist $12 from the Dark Conservatarian. About to go to sleep, but I've been listening to some old episodes of Monkey in the Morning. And I got to say that I miss when you guys used to end the episodes off with a cancerous article. Those were the funniest. Yeah, I mean those kind of articles are great. Those are the ones where we occasionally get them on here and I get comments from people like do more of this. And unfortunately, if you try to go looking for those purposefully, it becomes uh it's not as funny. It has to be more natural, I guess is the way I want to say it. Anyway, let's talk about Francesca Hong. What is it's Hong, right? Uh, I put Hung Go for Gung Ho, but that's actually a purposeful misspelling on the thumbnail there because it struck me funny. Okay, that's why. She lost her bid to become the new governor of Wisconsin last night. She was we were going to do a show, and I was staying up so that I could do the show during the election time, and I'm really glad I didn't because they didn't wrap this thing up until 2 o'clock in the morning. But I had all the plans to do that, and then I fell asleep. I'm so sorry, guys. But it did give me the chance to come in and look at it for after everything is wrapped up. And we're just gonna pull this CNN clip up because it's fucking amazing. So if you weren't paying attention to the election out there, what's his name? Something Crowley. I forget his first name. Crowley is the Democrat who's going to be on the Democrat side of the general election come November, and he'll be facing Mr. Tiffany. I don't know anything about either of these two people. I don't really care. It's Wisconsin. Let them fight it out. But I am glad to see the commie lost. And Francesca Hung, she was Hong. Which one is it? It's Hong. Because of my own fucking joke, I'm gonna mess this up all night long. Francesca, we'll just call her by her first name because we're good pals, is a stupid, dirty commie who was trying to run as the Democratic nominee. I saw something funny. It made me laugh my ass off. It's a clip of Bernie Sanders talking about James Carville because James Carville comes out and says that he will not be part of a party that Hassan Piker is part of. And Bernie Sanders is asked about it. And he's like, well, if Mr. Carville doesn't want to be part of this party, he can just go start his own. And if you guys know the history of Bernie Sanders, that is funny as shit. Bernie Sanders loses Democratic primary back in 72 or 7. I forget what it was. But he loses his Democratic primary, so he decides to run as an independent. And he's refused to actually be a Democrat. He's independent, don't you know? He's independent, Bernie. And now he's telling people who've been in the Democratic Party for decades that they don't belong. They need to go start their own party if they don't like the way his wing of it is doing it, even though he's not a Democrat. You can't make this shit up. But anyway, I don't know where that was. The part about this that really amuses me is how this turned out, because last I saw the totals, it was like 313,000 votes went to Crowley and 310,000 went to Francesca Hong. And I had made a joke way back when El Sayed was running for the primary here in Michigan about on election night, a 2 a.m. ballot dump. You know what happened last night in Wisconsin? A 2 a.m. ballot dump. So apparently there was a problem. There was a problem. I'm using air quotes, problem with the memory sticks that they use to get the absentee ballots. So there's 9 flash drives that are used to collect the absentee ballots. And of the 9 that they collected, 5 of them were wrong. Instead of downloading, this is the official story, guys. Instead of downloading the vote counts, which I don't understand why you need, and maybe there's a lot that goes into it, but those sticks are pretty, I mean, unless you're using really, really old ones, for a couple of bucks, you can get one of those sticks that has tons of room on it, but they need 5 different sticks for, I think it was, what was it, a total of 30,000 votes? I can't remember the exact total, but instead of getting the votes on those 5 sticks, all they got was the background information. And so they had to quickly, at the last minute, run out and re-download all that stuff. And when it come in, wouldn't you know it, that the establishment Democrat candidate he had overwhelming numbers. I believe it swings for him by like 1,500 votes, which he only won by 3,000. So more than half of the votes he wins by came in that ballot dump. And you know, the funniest part of that is Hong can't say shit. One of their complaints against Tiffany, the Republican who's running in Wisconsin, is that he was part of the Trump constituency that didn't believe the 2020 vote. So they can't even question it. If anything, if ever there was an election where they should be like, yeah, we really need to look into what happened here. This is this is it, right? You're in most states, this would trigger like I don't want to say in most, in many states, this would trigger an automatic recount. But here, Francesca, even though she barely loses this thing, it's 313 to 310,000. And she's just got to suck it up and take it because they've been so gung-ho on this nonsense. Like, oh, the elections are so unassailable. We can't question them at all. Bitch, you should be questioning this. And look, if the Democrats are going to cheat to keep a commie out, and I'm on your side, I'm fine with it. Yeah. When it comes to commies, I am stop them at all costs. Absolutely. But this is you've made a whole ass of yourself of not being able to challenge the establishment. So now you can't challenge them when they clearly deserve to be challenged here. They absolutely do. And this is a little bit earlier in the night on CNN where they're just finding out that some shenanigans went on, or they're just finding out that the numbers, and this is coming out of Madison. This isn't some podunk place where they're like, what's a flash drive? This is Madison, Wisconsin. This is a big ass city. This is where the apparatus is located. And they fucked it up and somehow only downloaded the non-voting totals, which is fucking amazing. How do you fuck that up? Anyway, and how did you only get 4? How did 4 of the sticks turn out right? How'd that happen? Anyway, so CNN is talking about it here.
I guess the exact thing, yes, is if 5 of the USB sticks were missing results from the election, so then they have to go try to re-grab them.
Didn't that silence just say it all? Just like, wait, what? 5 of the sticks are missing the information. Don't worry, guys. most secure elections on the planet. Most secure. Anyhow. I just love the stunned silence. This poor bastard who's the public face at the moment, he's the one giving the updates and stuff. There's the voice you hear is a guy off screen. We'll see him in a minute. But this poor bastard is just like, Um. Oof. Um. And you know what he's thinking in his head, right? He's like, "Wait, did the Republicans have a point about them cheating?" Yes, they do. Hey, have you ever noticed that these 2 a.m. ballot dumps always go in favor of establishment Democrat candidates? You know, they got pissed off over Bernie getting cheated in 2016, which Bernie did not get cheated in 2016. Go look at the numbers. There was no fucking way he was beating Hillary Clinton. They just wanted to shut him up, so they bought him out. That's what happened. They're like, hey, if you just shut the fuck up and go away so we can do this for real, then we will buy your shitty book and you'll be able to buy a third house. Deal? And he was like, at least in the third breadline house, you get the third breadline house. And everybody wants to play that up like they cheated him because they had a plan for super delegates, but they didn't need them. Go look at the fucking numbers before they get him to drop out. He was losing. He wasn't Barack Obama. He wasn't going to come back and just sweep everything and beat her ass. He was going to lose. And frankly, yeah, the Democrats should have let him lose because of all of that, there's a shit ton more people over on the communist side, and especially the nonsensical view that Bernie had a chance in hell of winning. Even in the Democratic Party in 2016, that motherfucker did not have a chance. He just didn't. And then we see it again in 2020. He did not have a chance. He was losing to the dude who didn't even know he was in the race. But it sets the narrative that turns the communists into the underdog. They just wanted to silence him. And now that you have a place where you can point to it and go, there's something really fishy going on here, they can't do it because they have spent so much time pushing back against Trump, suggesting anything was fishy about Biden getting so many votes, in the middle of the night after they've stopped counting, that they can't say shit. And it's fucking beautiful. It's fucking beautiful. I still think the Democratic Party is dirty, and I don't want to say they cheated here because I have no idea. I wasn't there. But I have noticed a pattern. I have noticed a pattern of these kind of people being like, we screwed up. I guess we got to go get the real totals at 2:00 in the morning when nobody's paying attention. And isn't it amazing that there's so many issues? Who was it that had the issues with the ballots being the wrong size? You guys remember that one? Hey, Jack, how you doing, my friend?
I'm doing okay. How you doing?
Oh, I'm living the dream. Living the dream.
Cool.
Although something ate the tops of all my onions, so now they won't grow. So I have like 6 onions left out of 40 that I planted.
Oh, wow.
So I have a little bit of hate in my heart right now for little woodland creatures and birds, but other than that, I'm doing pretty good.
Sure it wasn't a stray hobo?
They probably would have went for the onion itself too.
I don't know. They might be a crafty one trying to frame some rabbits.
Yeah. Anyway, I'm talking about the irregularities in the Wisconsin election last night.
The 5 missing USB drives?
Not missing. They had them. They just downloaded the wrong stuff.
Right.
They got 4 of them right, but the other 5, they were like, I don't know how to do these. Presumably all from the same place.
I mean,
because these, for the record, these were the absentee ballots. So they're in a central location. This isn't like they had to go to different precincts to pick these up. They went to one central location, and somehow at that one location, they managed to get it half right.
In government, that's probably the best you can hope for. But at the same time, I know this great bridge salesman. His name is you. So, I mean, you can't get too incredulous about this. You know how the scam works.
I just love that they can't say shit about it because they've spent so long not saying, actually calling anybody who points to these kind of irregularities and calling us conspiracy theorists and lunatics.
Right?
If I was Hong, whatever her name is, I would be pissed. There would be no shortage of being like, no, something needs checked here because this just no, makes no sense. And she can't say a fucking thing, not a damn word, because the guy that they're running against, it was on Trump's side with the 2020 election, and they've been trying to use that against him in the campaign so far. So she can't even come out and point out the obvious issues here.
Wow.
Ain't that some shit? It's wonderful. Now, for the record, the Crowley's probably going to win in Wisconsin. If we're going to be honest, there's going to be a Democrat in charge, and Democrats are just commie lights, guys. Don't get too excited about it. The commies are still in charge.
Yeah.
It's just the ones that hide it a little better. If I was hung, month 2026. Yep. Anyway, so Jack, we're watching CNN's reaction to this. Have you seen this video?
Yeah.
We're gonna start at the beginning again because I love the dead silence here.
I guess the exact thing, yes, is if 5 of the USB sticks were missing results from the election, so then they have to go try to re-grab them.
Look at that dude.
Yeah, and they're all the folks behind the scenes are talking about this as well. So
yeah, everybody should have been talking about this.
Yeah. Let me narrate that guy in the white's thought process here. He's looking down and he's like, "Are you fucking serious?"
Right.
And then he looks up and he's like, "This is a joke, right? Like you're gonna be like, just kidding, right? No, this is real. Oh fuck."
Why are votes being put on a USB stick? They're being put on the USB stick because they are tabulated in a central spot. I forget what it's called, but this is where all the absentee ballots came in. And so then all of the information from that, which includes the verification for the absentee ballots, as well as the count for the ballots themselves, are on a computer, and then they have to transfer that information over because they're not allowed to do it through the internet because that's not safe. It's much safer to have people who don't understand how to transfer information do it. I mean, this should be pretty fucking easy. They got it right with 4 of the sticks. That is probably the most telling part, Jack, is they got it right for 4 of the sticks, but the other 5, they were like, I don't know how to do this, bro.
Yeah, dude, I don't know. They're not even trying hard. Like this is childlike behavior of like, if I hide the cookie under the couch cushion, nobody will ever find it.
They cheated the wrong way. Well, here's the thing. There's so many ways that you could be like, well, this is what they did wrong and why they did it. Like, theoretically, I'm not saying this is what they did, YouTube, in case we're not allowed to question elections in a week or two because you guys change your minds a lot.
Right.
Theoretically, they could have been looking at the numbers coming in and had the absentee ballots in the back just waiting like, okay, we got these ones here, which will give us an extra 3,000 votes. And they realized they didn't need them. So like, quick, just go get the real numbers. And nobody brought them with them. Oh, we screwed up. And then they had to go get them. And there's a lot of scenarios that could have happened here. I am of the opinion that they probably use the real vote totals in the end. That they were like, hey, we don't need to cheat this and give our guy an extra 10,000 votes. The 1,500 will be enough. It's my personal opinion. I have no proof of it. It's just, from watching the pattern of how Democrats behave. Just watching the how often this has become a thing with them where there's some kind of mishap that gets us the vote totals, oddly enough, around 2:00 every time.
Yeah, or there's a water leak, or there's always some kind of like mildly thought out scenario that they come up with.
Yep.
It's just always just a little bit close to believable, but not believable enough to be a good cover story.
And the final numbers that come out of these always heavily towards the establishment Democrat candidate.
Yeah.
That's a weird fucking coincidence, honestly.
I mean, it's you're not allowed to notice things.
The funny thing is that it wasn't that long ago that it was considered the absentee balloting was considered a Republican thing.
Yeah.
Largely because a lot of absentee ballots are military, and contrary to what the media wants you to believe, a lot of military is conservative. And so that's what you expect from absentee ballots, is it to swing towards conservative policies. And then 2020 happens, and suddenly out of nowhere, it's like, no, Democrats all like to write in their votes.
Well, it was when they started pushing ballot harvesting, and like the community organizers were doing that shit, but behind the scenes during like the midterms in 2018.
Yep.
And they figured it out for 2020. Like they figured out how they were going to pull it off. And man, they really went hard on that.
Allegedly.
Hypothetically.
In case YouTube changes their rules again. Allegedly.
Yeah. It's disgusting.
But we can also look, it's unfortunate.
The folks behind the scenes here, you're saying.
Yes.
Are how do I ask this artfully?
You can't. The real question right there, it should have been, how the hell did this happen?
Yeah, he knows what's going on. He's just trying to come up with a way to ask the question without looking like he's asking the question.
Yeah, anyway. Not good military. They go to Pride and have two moms. Or they go to Pride. No, most of the military is still not that way. Are there a lot of them? Sure. But I have not seen any proof that things like we saw military enlistment go down because of stupid shit like the going to Pride parades with your two moms.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I just love this though. Like we're asking in the background, right? How can I say this without sounding like we said Donald Trump is for the last 6 years?
Right.
What? That was a joke, monkey. Oh, okay. I hear you. But we do need to acknowledge that the military has kind of moved a little wokey, because we have had like what was that guy? Was he a colonel? No, I think maybe he was a colonel who came out like, how dare you say bad stuff about trans people pissing next to little girls?
Yeah, there was that one guy on the Joint Chiefs that tried to make people read all the trans literature too.
Yeah. They've been trying to indoctrinate the military into this nonsense. The problem is, in order to fill your military ranks, you mostly got to go to flyover country, and flyover country is not filled with those kinds of people.
Yeah.
Yet.
Most of the soy people in Portland aren't going to qualify.
Well, they're not going to sign up anyway, fucking pussies.
Well, they're cowards by nature. That's why they're communists.
Even in times of peace, them bitches ain't going to sign up.
Yeah.
So anyway, I loved the results of this election. The commie loses. The Democrats probably cheated her out of it. And nobody can say a fucking thing because of how they've treated Trump for 6 years.
Yeah.
So, win, I guess. I don't like that they probably cheated another election and are going to get away with it. But it kept the commie out, so I'm okay with that part of it.
Yeah, and they always get away with it, so it's not like it's a new thing.
Anyway, what else do we have to talk about today? I want to get that. Where's the Democrats bragging? This part is so fucking funny. New Democrats overwhelmingly outvoted Republicans in several key primaries last night. Wisconsin governor, Minnesota Senate, Minnesota governor. Change is coming. Now, if you don't understand why that's stupid, let me explain. The Wisconsin governorship, the Minnesota Senate seat there that they're talking about, and the Minnesota governorship are all Democrats right now.
Oh, that's crazy, Monkey. It's changed. There's new faces.
Change is coming. For the record, they have open primaries there in Wisconsin. I don't know if they do in Minnesota or not. So you can't even say that there were far more votes on the Democratic side than there was on the Republican side, but there was a bigger fight on the Democrat side than there was on the Republican side. And there is a decent chance that a lot of Republicans were like, fuck no, I'm not letting this commie anywhere near this. And in the primary, it's way more important to knock her out, knowing that, what's his name? It's a girl name. The guy who won for the Republicans, he was basically running unopposed.
Yeah.
There was another candidate in there, but they got like 10 votes. So there very well could have been a ton of Republicans who voted in the Democrat primary to keep the commie from winning, or could have voted for the commie thinking that the commie would be easier to beat in November. It's an open
I'm all
primary.
for beating commies.
Yeah, me too. Although I do think it's really funny that it's the high-profile commie woman that lost in the party of women. The two Muslim men who, if you've read the Quran, they both win. The guys who are part of a religion who thinks as women, even your eyes are, man. That mascara, she was asking for it.
Yeah. She should have been in her beekeeper outfit.
Yeah. But the chick, she also wasn't Muslim. That's a part of this that's not been talked about that I've seen, is that the two big name commies who have won, Al Sayed and Mamdani, they are both Muslim. She wasn't. So she didn't get the Muslim vote coming out for her. She might have actually lost partially because of that.
Yeah. Well, Muslims are becoming a very strong bloc in certain areas of Michigan and Texas and a few other places.
What's funny is that Hong is on record saying that the reason people don't like her, Mamdani, and Al Sayed is because of racism. Which, I mean, Mamdani is the mayor of New York.
Yeah, he won.
El Sayed won his primary.
Shock.
You think it's just that people are too racist to like y'all, huh?
Yet they keep voting for you.
Not for her. I'm so glad she lost, because I got to be honest, having to listen to her for the next several months would have been too much, because that bitch is just crazy. This is the bitch who comes out and tells us that Thanksgiving is a horrible holiday because it causes people great pain. Now, I am not saying that nobody is in great pain on Thanksgiving. I know white women across the country feel deeply about how bad it was for Indian people they never met. But I haven't seen the Indians really pissed off about it.
Not really. It was like a couple activist loons, but that's about it.
It's much like the Redskins thing. Indians didn't give a shit about it. White women did.
Yeah. Well,
so this bitch is on record talking about how horrible Thanksgiving is because it causes people great pain. And then she comes out and says that her favorite holiday is Thanksgiving.
Because it gives white women great pain. Huh? Interesting.
It's a weird thing to come out and say is your favorite after you've said it causes people great pain.
It depends what kind of sicko you are, though. Like, maybe she's into that. She's into people suffering. She's a commie.
Or the Land O'Lakes thing. Yeah.
Yeah.
All of these things where they've changed it because this is so so sad to minorities. The minorities don't give a fuck. They're like, I'm just buying butter over here. I don't give a fuck about the little Indian girl on it. And little white ladies everywhere. But if it were me and I had a reason to be upset, I'd be upset by this. Oh, God, I hate white women. Except very few, like my daughter and my wife and my granddaughters. But most white women are so fucking insufferable.
But I have a theory about why they hate Thanksgiving. It's not just because of the engines.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, it's because that's when the pumpkin spice runs out.
I can see that. But we got to remember she's not white, so I don't know. How do Asian girls drink a lot of pumpkin spice?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, they like all the flavored shit.
Okay, that's fair enough. Fair enough. For the record, if you haven't seen the Minnesota U.S. Senate candidate for the Democrats, you really should. White lady. Full-on white lady.
Ugh.
Why do we let them vote again? Because men are pussies, okay? I'll just say it. Because men are pussies, and they're afraid that if they say women are too irrational to be voting, that women won't give them vagina anymore. That's what it boils down to. I don't want to be seen as the mean guy. Speaking of, you know what? I'll even show you. Where is that? Hang on, let me. This is only tangentially related, but it makes the same point. See this guy here? If you cannot gift trans people with visibility, humanity, and acceptance, could you at least give them the gift of silence? Could you at least shut the fuck up about it? This is Van Lathan. I don't know who the fuck he is, and I don't really care. But I just want you to think about what he's saying here. You can't give them the gift of visibility. Shut up.
Snitches get stitches.
Do you want me to see them? Because if I see them, I'm going to speak on them. I'm going to notice that the guy is standing up peeing next to little girls.
Now, they learned this from Islam in the UK. You can notice it, but you better keep your fucking mouth shut or they're going to send you to jail.
Don't say it. But instead of, remember, the trans thing is being brought up again right now because of the WNBA.
Yeah, Clay Travis.
And instead of being like, you know what, that really is stupid. The idea that men should compete with women, that really is stupid. Instead of being that smart about things, is like, excuse me, I'm a good person, so you can't look at the trans thing and notice reality. Just shut up, brah. And you get the same thing anytime it comes to dealing with women and minority. Anytime you try to point out something like the fatherhood crisis in the Black community, that should be a major talking point. That should be like, hey, you want to know why people are acting a fool? Because they ain't got a daddy in their life telling them not to.
Yeah.
But hey, don't point that out because there's race involved. Well, kind of, but the real issue is the lack of fathers.
Yeah, you're never going to develop generational wealth. You're never going to develop job skills. There's a lot of things that go into having fathers in the household that would benefit the Black community greatly, but they don't want to hear it. Instead, they want to shut their eyes to all the problems and just shut up. He didn't do nothing. Shut up. That's not going to fix anything. Burying your head in the sand has never fixed a problem.
Gigi Evan, thank you. It's always the awfuls, AFWLs, causing the problems. Affluent white female liberals. Yeah.
Pretty much, yeah.
And the dumbass men who refuse to call them out on their stupidity.
Yeah, which is ironic because the men are too scared to do anything because the women might not let them have sex with them anymore or spurn them in some regard. But then the woman's nightmare is that if men are in charge, they'll turn them into sex slaves, like in The Handmaid's Tale. So it's a vicious circle of nobody's getting any.
don't forget, all of the liberal women, as far as I know, aren't having sex anymore. The 4B movement after Trump won, remember?
Oh yeah, that's right. I forgot
Yeah.
about that.
They
Well-
tried to steal the actual pain of Koreans and were like, no, but we're being oppressed here, even though they basically run everything.
Yeah, and they incessantly talk about it. Oh my God,
Yep.
shut up, ladies. No offense to our audience, ladies.
They fear lawfare in the state with good reason. Actually, lawfare, there's not much that can be done. And the state, I mean, there's some maybe pushback you can get. The biggest problem is that they might get shunned a little bit. And you don't want to be one of those sexists, do you? I don't give a shit if you think I'm
I do
sexist.
love watching a good shunning.
Go ahead and challenge what I say. And then if you still think I'm sexist, okay, I'm all right with that.
Yeah, I mean, I've seen what makes them happy. Their jeers mean nothing. To paraphrase Rick.
I want to point this one out too, because it's just one of those things that I read. It's so fucking stupid. It says Bush fucked up so bad it made Obama possible. Obama fucked things up so bad it made Trump possible. Trump fucked things up, it made Biden possible. Biden fucked things up so much people went back to Trump. Trump has now fucked things up so bad that AOC thinks she has a chance in 2028.
No,
hang
she
on.
thinks six. Oh, sorry.
We are no longer a serious country. Go ahead. What were you saying?
I think AOC would have thought she could be president either way because she's retarded.
AOC was talking about running for president when she was too young to do it.
Yeah, because she's retarded and didn't know she was too young to do it.
But let's back this up. I know nobody wants to hear this, especially in modern day. But if Obama was allowed to run for a third term, he would have beat Trump.
Probably, yeah.
And anybody who doesn't believe that, you weren't paying attention to how politics looked at the time. Could Trump have pulled it out? Sure, maybe. Maybe he gets some kind of win, but Obama is not Hillary. And Hillary, she largely fucked up her own campaign. And plus, it was Hillary. She's an unlikable, shrill of a woman.
Yeah.
There's a good chance Obama wins if we don't pass the amendment only allowing people to run twice. He could have been our fuck if Reagan hadn't have gone, Alzheimer's, he probably could have won a third term too.
Yeah, he was incredibly popular.
He basically did with Bush.
Yeah. Bush.
But that's not the worst flawed logic here. The worst flawed logic is that last part. Trump fucked things up so bad, AOC thinks she has a chance. Now, it would be one thing if he said AOC has a chance, but that AOC thinks she has a chance literally has nothing to do with Trump.
Yeah.
Hey, the fuck are you talking about, retard? AOC thinks a lot of things, and the only thing it shows is how bad the American education system is.
That's a true statement.
AOC thinks the world's going to end in 2032.
Yeah, she's not real bright.
Yeah. AOC thinks that you need to be morally correct instead of having your facts straight. AOC thinks she has a chance because she's retarded. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
And she's also in a insulated little bubble of socialists that she's never challenged on anything. Not once has that bitch been challenged on anything since she's gone national. Not once. Trump got even more votes in 2020. Dems cheated 100%. I have no doubt about that either, but Trump getting more votes, you have to remember how popular that Obama was. And unlike Biden, actual black people would have shown up for him.
Yeah. Despite reality, Obama was incredibly popular.
Yeah.
I never understood it, but I'm also way more on the right. So I'm horrified by the idea, but yeah, he absolutely could have won.
Yeah, and he would have had a much better chance than Hillary.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
And the idea that he fucked things up so bad. Democrats weren't running from Obama; they were running from Hillary.
Yeah.
Yeah. AOC is no longer hot, so there's no reason to talk about her anymore. By that metric, there was never a reason to talk about her because she looks like a donkey.
Well, look, her comedy value is still there because she's still a retard. But yeah, she's. I want to know what bra company she uses because that thing makes a superior lift bra. And that thing is doing heavy lifting. Those things got to be down by her knees.
All right, we got to talk about it. She went on Instagram, I think it was the other day, to show us she's taking drugs to set up to save her eggs.
Yeah, I saw that.
Apparently, her and her boyfriend broke up. A much smaller story that I saw somewhere.
Yeah. Fiance, wasn't it?
Yes, it was her fiance for several years. I mean, they were like Jim and Pam, or Roy and Pam.
Yeah.
She finally realized that in this election that she's not getting kickback money by sending him consultation fees, and so he's got no real worth to her. And so instead, she's going to save her eggs. Now, I understand the concept of saving your eggs, and this is going to be one of those things where people who only get their news without digging deeper are going to be like, "No, monkey." The truth about saving your eggs is that there's a better than 50% chance you're not going to have kids because those eggs are not as viable as you think they are.
That's why they save so many of them.
The medical community knows this, and they still charge a shit ton of money, and you don't get that back. There's no my eggs didn't reattach properly. There's no insurance for that.
Yeah, what if the kid ends up frostbit?
Yeah, that's another blue gumball, I guess.
Yeah, they're already blue gumballs, but now it's got a little bit of frosted. You know how if you leave like a slab of meat in the freezer too long, it's that little discoloration.
Can you imagine her having a blue gumball child?
God.
How dumb would an AOC blue gumball be?
Talk about reverse evolution. Like devolution's a real thing. Like it'll come out like a Neanderthal.
That kid would literally drool from his ears. Anyhow, she's saving her eggs because nobody wants to fuck a donkey, especially an old one. And she is considering a 2028 run, and God bless her for doing so. I will have so much fun. The only way I could have more political fun than AOC running for president is AOC winning the presidency.
Oh my God. Talk about 4 years of content.
Do you know how very happy I would be? Because if you get a charismatic, if you get an El Sayed or a Mamdani, people who, yes, they are completely manufactured, but that's never stopped used carmen from being popular in the past or successful in the past. Yeah. They can get up there, they can articulate a message, say all the right words in the right order, swat away. AOC doesn't have that ability. AOC needs somebody else to talk for her.
Yeah.
That's why she doesn't talk as much as she used to, because the guy who used to do all of her speech writing and stuff for her doesn't work for her anymore. And you see a massive drop off of her social media and her media appearances after he leaves.
Yep.
So it's her on her own. And oh dear God. You know, at least Biden had the excuse of dementia. AOC's just retarded. And oh God, I would have such a good time. Such a good time.
I could, the way I'm picturing this is election night. You're going to be standing there with your hands like swirling in a circle, like the Cesar Romero in the Batman show. where he's like, "Ooh, delicious."
I might actually have to change my pants. Look, I don't want her running things, but I also have enough faith in our system that she can't fuck things up too much in the time that she would have. So the win from people getting to see just how bad her ideology is would be worth it. Plus, she's a fucking moron, which would make it really worth it.
Can you imagine her in a debate against JD Vance?
Oh, it would be so beautiful.
Or Marco Rubio, even. Like, Vance is a really good speaker. Rubio's pretty good, but against AOC, it would just be a bloodbath. Like, Vance is very aggressive. I think Rubio would be a little confused, but still really good on it. So I would love to watch that debate.
Oh, me too. And I would love to see the news the next day that says AOC destroys Vance, and then all of social media with the clips of her, being retarded.
Yeah. Her standing there saying, "I'm rubber, you're glue."
Monkey, she wouldn't be able to fuck things up more. Oh, she could fuck things up more, but it would be short term. It would be stuff we could fix because, yeah.
Well, it depends how nihilistic you are. If you're a collapsitarian, it might be the best thing for you.
How's Vivek doing in Ohio? Vivek is doing so well in Ohio, at least from the outside perspective. That question is to you, Jack, but
yeah,
from the outside perspective, he's doing so well. Nobody's talking about anybody but Vivek.
I've seen a lot of ads because they're running them nonstop. And
Sure.
Pyrus, he doesn't even talk in most of his ads because the super PACs are doing it. And Amy Acton looks like a complete fucking retard in the ads against her because they're farming all these great clips of dumb shit she's said or done, like her saying that she can't even work the TV remote, and that right after they play a clip of her saying how we got to do the lockdowns, and then they play this old clip of her making a joke about not knowing how to work a remote control and how she got like a DUI, all this other stuff. Like she apparently had a pill problem and a booze problem. And it's all just like constant flood of that stuff. Vivek's doing pretty well. I think he's going to win. I hope he does because some of these other people are a little frightening. But he's doing pretty well. He's still holding rallies and stuff. So you don't hear much about it because most of the news in Ohio is incredibly left wing.
I hate Vivek, fucking H1B fanboy. If that's enough to make you hate him, I understand it. I do. I'm not the biggest fan of the H1B, especially how it's been used, but
yeah,
there's so many other issues besides just the H1Bs.
Yeah, look, I don't like the H1B stance either, and it's almost always from business people that have that stance because they want the cheap labor, and I get that. But
yeah,
considering the alternatives that we have,
it is what it is.
Yeah.
And I understand people wanting cheap labor. I do. Let's see. What is the polling saying? Because the person who asked us said that they're seeing that on the voting sites he's losing. New poll shows that he's going to lose to Amy Acton. Released by Tulchin on Wednesday. It's not telling me what the numbers are in this article. Anyway, yeah, we'll see. We'll see. You guys have already had your primaries, right?
Yep.
So you're just on the general election. Yeah. So, how many Uber drivers do we really need? Tons. Okay. What else did I want to talk about? I wanted to talk about that abortion crap. Because I was told this was not going to happen. Nobody wants to do this, but oh shit, what state was this again? Massachusetts. That's it. This is the governor of Massachusetts signing a law that allows abortion literally up to the time of birth. Because it's for a woman's health. And there's a great thing going on in the comments, both from liberals, Jack, where one side tells us that nobody would do this. It's only if it's for a medical emergency. And then the other side, again, still Democrats, are like, women should be able to choose. Well, which is it? Is it for the medical emergencies, or should it just be the woman's choice no matter what she wants? And I want to point something out here, because you know what, Jack? For argument's sake, let's say that there's nobody out there whose man leaves them in the 8th month of pregnancy and was like, well, fuck it, I'm going to kill the kid because I don't want to do it by myself, right? And no, nobody's like that. At that point, somebody said at that point, they've already got names. My daughter had a name before she was conceived, for the record. Lady Monkey had that name in mind since she was a kid. My daughter's name literally my wife was like 10 when she thought of that name. But apparently names keep you from killing your kids. So I just want to point out MAID. If you don't know what I mean by MAID, I mean the Canadian Let's Help You Kill Yourself program. Are we allowed to talk about that on YouTube, given that it's an official government program?
I don't know. I'm not real clear on what the rules for that are.
And are we allowed to like advocate for it? Because you're not supposed to advocate for suicide, but I mean it's literally an official government program in Canada.
It is like a late-term abortion thing.
It's a very, very late-term abortion, depending on how old you are.
Yeah.
But do you remember the selling point on this and what you're told anytime euthanasia comes up?
Safe, effective, and rare.
It's that this will only be used for people who they have no chance of living. They're at the end of life they have horrible cancer that can't be cured, or these are hopeless cases.
Yeah, that's how Hitler started his program on the same thing.
They just
there's a bunch of mental institutions that are empty and not many retards anymore.
Yeah, they just had to pause because they implemented a plan or approved a plan to allow you to commit suicide with their help if you were depressed.
Yeah, some people didn't want to die either.
Yeah, they try. There was that military dude who's like, I just need some help. I'm just a little depressed. And they're like, have you considered ending it all? And you're like, no, I that's not even on my mind. I need someone to talk to. I hear you, but have you considered a bullet? Because
I have a pamphlet.
All them problems go away.
Well, there was that family, I don't know, a couple weeks back that wanted to be able to sign off on ending the life of their grandfather or something. Did you see that one?
No.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't remember how it came out. I was hoping you had seen it, but I'll look it up quick.
And Grandpa's probably like, I don't want to die. For the record, I do not want government or any other kind of assisted suicide. When you assisted suicide, that's called murder, fucker. And you know what? I get the idea behind it, right? There's always that, let him die with dignity. There's a great line from House where he goes, you can't die with dignity. You can only live with it.
Yeah, well, I've seen death and it's pretty fucked up. There's no dignity in that.
Nothing like the dignity of shitting yourself in front of people. Because that's one of the first things you tend to do when you die.
Yeah.
Dignity, yay. Now, if you want to tell me they're in pain and it'll get them out of the pain and it's what they want, all right, I get it. But it shouldn't be something that is normalized, because when it becomes normalized, then it becomes normalized for lesser things, which is exactly what you see happening in Canada. Now apply that to this abortion thing. Like, oh, well, it's only, by the way, there is no problem they're going to find in the 9th month that they got to kill the baby for. None.
Yeah.
None. But that's what they want you to believe. Okay, fine. So we've normalized that. Well, have you seen grocery prices lately?
Yeah, gas prices are ridiculous, and you're exhaling too much carbon.
Do you realize how horrible it's going to be for that mom if she has to pay for gas to get that kid to school? Yeah.
Right. Real quick, thank you, Evolved Potato. I remember an elderly woman's family forcing her into maid without her consent because they didn't want to take care of her. Yeah,
Yep.
that was Bridget Stegman. She's 83, devout Christian, did not believe in suicide or euthanasia, and she was still put to death on maid on July 10th, 2026. That's the one I was thinking of.
Can I point out that
Got
in
that
this
completely wrong.
that in this picture it's mostly white women?
Yep.
And
Look at the smug grins on all their faces.
Those fucking evil smiles about killing kids.
Yeah, it's the smug smirk of self-righteousness. They are doing something profoundly good. It's because they have good intentions and they don't care who it hurts. Just like the MAID program, your good intentions are a road to hell. And all these people are disgusting and I hate all of them.
This woman, if you're in favor of abortion, right? This is the right look because she looks sad that this is something that has to be done. She probably isn't. She's probably happy and they just caught her when she's clearing her throat or something.
Yeah, she's probably farting.
But that's the kind, this shouldn't be something you're happy about. This should be something that you're like, this is horrible that we have to do this.
Yeah.
And instead they're like, go, we got to kill babies.
This is like masturbating to drone strikes.
We-
Do that shit in private, weirdo.
We live in a world where women wear shirts proudly proclaiming how many abortions they've had.
Yeah.
And you're telling me that none of those kind of people will make it to like 8th month of pregnancy and be like, change my mind.
Right.
But I have a better question. If the only people who are getting abortions like this late, up to the point of birth, literally up to the point of birth, are the ones who are doing it for medical emergencies, then why isn't this bill just for the people who have medical emergencies? Why is it for all of them? Why is there's no restriction? None.
Real quick. Thank you, Frosted Glass. Good to see you, man. After dealing with a mom and two sisters over the past few weeks, while my sister was in the hospital getting a heart valve replacement, I've learned that while under duress due to a medical problem, women can't choose shit. They're hysterical and illogical. I agree. And by the way, I'm glad your sister's doing better. I hope she's okay. But yeah, that's I have seen that a lot of women under stressful situations and very few can handle it well. It's usually a complete basket case of nonsense. It's like when two guys are fighting and the chick walks in and grabs her boyfriend. Like, what the fuck are you doing? That's the stupidest thing you could do. It's that mentality of like, I gotta do something. I just don't know what.
Look, we just do it the pain-filled way. I don't know what that's involved to, or in that question sounds like facts of hate, Monk. It is. I saw one person ask, this is the woman's choice. Why do you care? And that is one of the grossest things that I can think of. If somebody's beating their child, it technically is just between them and their child. Why would I care? Because it's a child being hurt. And they're like, but it's just the mom. It's not. If it was just the mom, there wouldn't. If she wants to have her pancreas removed, I don't give a fuck. I really don't. She wants to have any of her internal organs removed. I don't give a fuck. Do it. It's the fact that there's another person in the body that you guys try to pretend isn't there.
Yeah.
Anyway, yeah. So I fuck these people, man. They're fucking ghouls. They're fucking ghouls. Do we want to laugh at Hassan? I kind of do. We haven't watched a Hassan clip in a long time. And there's this one where he's threatening to sue Fox News. Unfortunately, the clip. Now, it's hard for me here, Jack, because one, Hassan is a liar.
Yeah.
And he lies constantly. Laura Loomer called him something the other day. I'm not familiar with the term, but what it means is that as an Islamic person, you're allowed to lie about what Islam is to keep yourself out of trouble.
Yeah. There's a term for it. You're allowed to lie to non-Muslims.
Yep.
And, I forget the term off the top of my head. I used to know this, but
lying is OP, as he says.
Yeah.
So somebody called it. Yeah, that's the word right there, but I'm not sure I can say it. Takia.
Taquitos.
Taquitos. But it is a Muslim doctrine of lying about what you guys actually believe to keep the infidels from realizing what disgusting pieces of shit you are.
Yeah.
And they use it a lot. And Laura Loomer called him that or mentioned that. And somebody's like, that's racist. It's not, because it's literally Hassan's MO. This motherfucker lies constantly, even about things that he has said that's on camera. And he'll either tell you it was a joke or it was out of context. And I do think that there's some that he's joking about, excuse me, that people take too far. Like there's one clip of him talking about replacing the white race. And he's clearly trying to make jokes. He doesn't do it well. And it's cringy and stupid, and maybe he does believe in replacing white people, but that clip doesn't show that. It's him trying to mock people who believe that there's an attempt to replace white people.
Yeah.
So that clip doesn't bother me like his "fuck it, America deserved 9/11" remark.
Or talking about wiping his ass with the American flag, or
the Constitution.
Yeah. I mean, you could name a dozen things he said that he's serious about.
When he says, let the streets run in their red capitalist blood, he's not joking.
No, I think he believes that.
Yeah, he even pulls, because he knows he's fucking up, so he goes, in Minecraft.
Yeah. God, he's dumb. Oh, real quick, thank you, Okie Native. I've got nothing. Although as soon as assisted suicide is legal, I'm applying to have Monkey euthanized because he's crippled or something. Here's some hooker money. Oh, thanks, Okie. I like hooker money. Thank you. Don't worry, Monkey. I can't let you die. I need this job.
Sorry, I had to sneeze, and I was mid that thing that happens before you sneeze where your body's trying to decide.
Yeah. I hate that when it lingers.
And it's right as you're coming to the end of reading that. I'm like, oh, please stop. Keep going. Sorry about that, guys. So anyway, the reason I'm telling you this is that the part that is played in this clip from Fox News, they don't say what Hassan says they said. And if they do say what he says they said, then he might have a little bit of a claim of slander, of libel. But I don't know, because it's not included in the clip, and he lies constantly. I'm just putting that part out there before we watch it. So he might have a little bit of it. He might have a little bit of a point, but the overall point is, I mean, you lie constantly, homie. Seriously. Chances are, if there's something horrible I can think of, you've probably said it already.
Right?
Black voters are not going for this. You know, you look at what just happened in Wisconsin. I guess those people like Thanksgiving a little too much over there, because Francesca Hong was defeated because of black voters. Black voters, young voters, are not going for this socialist ride. They're rejecting them at the ballot box.
Which is a really interesting point, because remember I pointed out that that Muslims turned out in Michigan and Muslims turned out in New York City. They didn't turn out for her. She's not a Muslim. Oddly enough, that they don't have the large Somali contingent that Michigan and Minnesota have. So when you say black people aren't turning out for this nonsense, American-born black people aren't turning out for this nonsense. I do hope he's right about this, that black Americans are smart enough to be like, no, we've seen what communism does. I don't want that shit. I don't think that that's necessarily the case. And I do think if they had a Muslim candidate, that Muslim candidate would have won, even as a strong commie. If Francesca just switched her religion, she could have won. And it would have been, let's call them the imports. Anyway.
Yeah, Republicans should reach out and do what they can among that group, independents and everything. They've got time. CJ Pearson, great to see you. Thank you.
Now, I do want to point out that on the bottom of the screen here, it says, El Sayed says Piker disavowed dumb 9/11 comments weeks after Piker points out pictures of towers burning. We haven't talked about this on this show, but right back here, Hassan took down one of his pictures of himself with his name, like, I'm Hassan Piker, in case anybody watching didn't know.
Yeah.
And instead, what he put up is a picture of the New York Times from September 12th that was gifted to him by his friend, Cutie Cinderella. And there's a lot of people who are like, that's fucking disrespect. Remember, this is the guy who said we deserved that.
Yeah. Yeah.
So he puts that up, and El Sayed's like, but he disavowed his comments. Yeah. He has tried to be like, no, this is a historical event. That's why I put it up. It's funny. I don't see Pearl Harbor or any other historical stuff up there. And we do have newspaper covers for those.
Yeah, they even make reprint posters of a lot of that stuff that you could buy on like Amazon and stuff. So he has no excuse. He's just a lion's shitbag.
Yeah, every other thing up there is glazing himself. And then suddenly he puts this New York Times paper up there with the buildings on fire. And he's like, no, I'm doing this as a tribute. Fuck you.
Yeah, no, it's a reminder of the conquest of Islam.
Yeah. And he has the nerve to be mad now.
Jesus Christ, dude. Holy shit. That has to be an easy defamation case? No, yeah, 100%.
Well, you're a public
It's
figure.
like-
Good luck with that.
Yeah.
I've never seen this level of lying. Like, even
I've never seen this level of lying. Now, again, we don't get to see the whole Fox News clip there. And I don't have to know that I've seen more lying on your show, homie.
Yeah, and apparently he doesn't own a mirror if he's never seen this much lying.
He doesn't watch his own streams.
Yeah.
Yeah.
If he were to try and sue Sean Hannity or Fox News, they have more money than God. Hassan's worth like $20 million allegedly. Good luck, dude.
Well,
Sean Hannity has that in his couch.
There's a clip from maybe a week or so ago where there's a CNN person who says on air that Hassan Piker abuses his dog. And Hassan's like, I'm thinking of suing. And so the next day they came out and they clarified. They didn't apologize. They didn't say he didn't. They just said, what was their statement? That somebody said it on there and Piker denies it. That's all they said, is that Piker denies it.
Yeah, well, even CNN's not scared of him because there's a video.
But his bitch ass came out like, they apologized. I forced them into it. They didn't apologize.
No.
They didn't even say you didn't do it. They said you said you didn't do it. And by the way, they said that he abused his dog. You were on record you're on camera pulling a dog's tail. That's abuse.
Yeah, and he had that spike collar that would dig into the dog's neck on his other dog before Kaya. And the shocking video is still floating around the internet. It still pops up from time to time. It's a reasonable assessment of an opinion that a commentator could make.
Lindsay says, like, I get genuine joy watching Hassan get his ass handed to him. What the fuck is wrong with me? There's nothing wrong with you.
No, you're a normal person.
He's a shitty person who deserves this.
Yeah, quite frankly, I think he deserves a lot worse.
Me too. Yeah.
And he's just a bad person, and I don't want any good things to happen for the guy. He's a piece of shit, and he's an arrogant, spoiled child who is used to getting his way and not ever having consequences.
I haven't read it, but Rolling Stone just did a big piece with him.
Yeah, it was another blowjob piece.
Because of course they did.
Yeah,
He's mad that his mom talked to them.
Yeah,
because his mom said, "I'm not as pro-China as he is," and he's like, my mom doesn't have the right media training.
well, and she's a capitalist landlord, so
Anyhow,
with James Tallarico and stuff, like they'll clip them out of context. They'll try.
For the record, there are plenty of times that Hassan has been clipped out of context, and people need to stop doing that because it gives him an out. Because then he can go like, "Look, here I'm clipped out of context." There's plenty of times you don't have to clip this shithead out of context to show what a shithead he is,
yeah.
and that's the ones he never addresses. The ones where
Not.
he finally gets at. Remember that he gets asked questions by a guy. He went to some protest, because he's the protest boy. And as he's walking away, he gets asked questions, and he's trying to find a car to hide in. And he actually does answer some of these in the most honest way he has yet. Still not honest, but claims that he was LARPing. Remember that?
Oh yeah.
It's called LARPing, dude.
I think that Hassan is at heart a coward, and that's why he can't stand up and say, "Yeah, I said that." What are you gonna do about it?
And again, he's in a religion that tells him that that's what you're supposed to do. He's in a political ideology that tells you that's what you're supposed to do.
Yeah,
Lie about what you actually believe so that you get people on your side. Yeah.
Try to make it seem like they're more woke than they are or anything like that. But in this circumstance, it's like a very overt way to lie about something so heinous.
Don't worry. He's going to tell us what the heinous part is here in just a second.
what is it
Anyway,
that Kaya's not getting chewed up by that other dog that makes him laugh?
No, not that part.
Explore the legal avenues here. It's getting completely out of control. You know what I mean? This is not like James Tallarico's vegan. Like, this is straight up saying that I love lynching and that I'm racist. Like,
one, you are racist. You are absolutely racist. We've seen countless examples of it. Now, your racism does tend to be like most democratic racism. You hide it until the race that you disagree with disagrees with you. And then suddenly go back to North Korea about the chick from Vietnam.
Yeah.
By your own measure, that's racist. You are racist, sir. As for the other claim there, again, it's not in the clip, so I don't know if they said that about him or not, that he's for lynching. But my guess is they probably backed that up with video of you being like that.
Yeah, I remember hearing something about him saying something about people hanging from trees or something like that, but I don't remember. And that might have been a joke. I'll give him that much credit.
It might be, but nobody on the right gets that kind of credit when they're making a joke.
No, of course not.
And so you don't get a cry about the liberal press treating you, or the press in this case, as liberal as I think Fox News is still. You don't get a whine about it. He got very upset that CNN, the way I found this clip is I was actually looking for the clip of him watching CNN, where CNN compares him to Nick Fuentes. And he's mad as fuck about it. Because no, I'm not like Fuentes. Yeah, you are a lot like Fuentes. You're both commies. And any Fuentes lovers out there who don't believe that, you need to pay more attention. You're both commie shitbags who say racist shit for attention.
Do you think Hassan owns a black light too?
Probably. I mean, they're both closeted gay. I mean, in Hassan's case, it's understandable because he could get stoned to death for it.
Oh no, they throw him off buildings.
Fair. Yeah. The one good thing I am seeing, and I got to give Democrats some props for this because it's them doing it, is that we're finally seeing a commie treated the way commies should be treated. They should be pointed to as the far extreme, unacceptable viewpoint as an American.
Oh, I was thinking a little more Franco. But I get what you're saying.
Yeah, they're not doing it for the right reason, and they're still hiding behind their own communistic tendencies because their problem here isn't with what Hassan is saying. It's that Hassan makes them look bad.
Yeah.
That if this was the days of old, they would have pulled his ass into a struggle session. Been like, you need to tone it down. You're making us look bad.
Yeah. Well, if you go back far enough, you get to the good old days where these people were kicked out of places and ostracized as they should be. And if you were real unlucky, you lived under Pinochet.
No, but he says he's gonna look into this legally. You don't have any legal standing here, homie.
No, he's got no case, and I think he secretly knows that. But if he tried to actually get a lawyer, he's gonna get some ambulance chaser and about the only person that would take that job, just to milk him for money. Because any good lawyer would be like, "You can't win, man. This is stupid."
Yeah, they can point to things. Remember, in a defamation case, especially against somebody, thanks to the New York Times case, somebody with a public profile like him, you have to point to them knowingly telling a falsehood, and they have to know it was false when they did it. Good luck. But
then, they could argue it's an opinion.
He goes on to claim he's going to force a retraction and an apology, and then he's going to celebrate when it happens.
Yeah,
but again, with the CNN thing, they didn't apologize. They didn't retract. And he still celebrated it as though they did. You know, the guy who's like, I can't believe people lie. Literally all CNN did is say, Hassan says he didn't do it. That's it.
Yeah. Like, if Hassan had real friends, they'd tell him to shave off that stupid mustache or grow the beard out all the way to even it out. But he has that. He
came out the other day clean shaven. It's taken him about a week. Hey, how are you how do I put this? A man of your
ethnic heritage?
Yeah. How does it take you so long to grow a beard, bitch?
Right? Like, he seems to have no problems with the mustache, but actually growing the beard out? How are you fucking this up, man?
I knew a guy, a Persian guy, and that motherfucker, as he shaved, his beard grew back.
Yeah, you got 5 o'clock shadow by noon.
He used to get in trouble because we were supposed to be clean shaven in the job, and by midday he had a full 5 o'clock shadow.
Yeah,
and they're like, "Why didn't you shave today?" And he's like, "I did."
They're a hairy people.
They are.
I understand that. The other day you said he was white, so maybe his son's line. Maybe his beard area is white and his mustache is Turkish.
Yeah, I don't believe. Apparently, he released his DNA profile.
Yeah, right.
That says he's like 96% Muslim. Where did it say he was? Because it wasn't Turkey. It was I forget what it said he mostly was. Oh, Lebanese. That he's mostly Lebanese. I don't believe that at all, because you could grow a proper facial hair much faster if you were.
Yeah. I know a couple of Lebanese guys, and they could grow beards just fine.
Yeah, that really dude, his eyebrows are Lebanese, but that's about it.
Yeah, well, I mean, he's got like caterpillars growing on his small head.
He does. Oh my God.
I pointed out on Twitter, I think it was Lindsay that commented. I pointed out that there's one video that he recently released, and he's got his hands closer to the camera, and you can see how big his hands are compared to his head.
Mm-hmm.
Like, there's a size differential. And once you point it out and somebody sees it, you can't unsee it. he's got giant, like man-like hands on little boy arms with a tiny baby head. Oh, another dude.
Yep, we got another dude because we're going to talk about the trans thing now because the WNBA stuff is funny as fuck. For those of you that have missed it, a couple of men have realized that the WNBA doesn't actually have rules against men playing in the WNBA as long as they claim to be women.
Yeah, this started with Clay Travis, the radio host, that one of them that replaced Rush. I don't know if you listened.
Oh, yeah, I know the name.
Yeah, he's putting up. He said he wants to start his own team for $10 million in Nashville, and he's going to have an all-trans team.
Nice.
And that sparked a wave of just shenanigans across the internet, and it's been comedy gold.
Frosted Glass, thank you. The scientific term is Turkish twink.
Don't take Turkish delight from them.
What were we talking about?
To the WNBA.
The WNBA. A large part of this has been pushed because of Sophie Cunningham and her being like, no, men shouldn't play women's sports.
Yeah, which is a pretty normal stance to have.
Yeah, and then one of the WNBA coaches got in trouble, or was it it was the owner, right? I forget. During one of the games Sophie's playing in, there's some girls sitting up front with a sign that's like, hey, men shouldn't play in this. And that woman went over there and yelled at them about how they need to be more inclusive.
Yeah, she got fined and ejected.
Yep, and she was banned for like 2 weeks or something like that.
Yeah,
which good. Good.
Yeah,
she shouldn't be yelling at the. They finally got people to buy tickets, and you're yelling at them.
Yeah, like This is how stupid a lot of these people are when it comes to business.
Yeah.
And Sophie's own coach was wearing "Protect Trans Kids" or some shit on her shirt, and I'm like, what are you thinking? Your two biggest players are Sophie Cunningham and Caitlin Clark.
Yep.
And they are constantly getting beaten up on the court. And then you've got the owners and the team management, coaches, etc., all bad-mouthing them. Are you fucking retarded? You're killing the golden goose.
So several of the people born with penises have signed up as women to be eligible for the draft.
Yeah.
One is a former NBA player. Actually, two of them are, because Royce White was in the NBA for like half a second. And they're very mad about this. Like, I even saw one person like, oh, there's now more men signing up than trans women in the WNBA. This doesn't even really happen. Like, yeah, but this shows the absurdity of you allowing it to happen at the high school level where it absolutely is happening.
Yeah. And how insulting to these stunning and brave people that just came out of the closet.
Yeah, no shit.
Sign up for a sport they love.
How dare you? How dare you question their identity?
Yeah, if they are identifying, that's what they are, is a woman. So the one guy even said he's a guy who identifies as a guy who sometimes identifies as a woman. Yeah. And I respect that because it's funny.
The one person that I saw trying to shame Royce White over this said, fine, then go the whole way. Get the hormones and the breast augmentation. I'm like, wait, you're not saying you have to do that to be trans, are you?
Yeah, because that's not what they've been saying for the past, 6 years.
All it takes is feeling like a woman. That's what we've been told.
Yeah. It's anybody who identifies as a woman.
If you watch the Matt Walsh thing, many of the people he asked, what is a woman? They will tell you, they tell you, if you feel like a woman. And I'm not talking the man on the streets. I'm talking the doctors. I'm using air quotes there. The doctors that they talk to.
Yeah.
They don't tell you what that feeling is. You just feel like a woman. Well, what does a woman feel like? Well, they feel like a woman.
Like
so anyway,
accountability. Oh,
the WNBA thing's got me laughing my ass off because it's amazing how transphobic these people are becoming to try to keep it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. And
'Cause-
that one big black dude with the beard wearing the wig. Oh my
Yes.
gosh. I
That's-
laughed for like 5 minutes of that. I don't even know who this guy is.
That's Royce White.
Oh, is it?
Mhm.
Okay. Yeah, that dude was really funny.
I have some problems with Royce because he goes a little too hard on certain topics, but I follow him and I find him to be hilarious and intelligent.
I'm sorry. She is stunning and brave.
You can be a trans woman and have the pronouns he.
Oh, that's right.
Yeah.
I'm not clear on all the rules here because they shift like the sands of Saudi Arabia, but
Well,
you know, I'll catch up.
that's part of the issue they're running into is because there've been no rules. Anything that you try to be like, no, this is a woman, they're like, nah, that don't matter.
Yeah.
There was a time where it was like, well, they're not even trying to pass. They're like, hey, they still feel like a woman. So the whole thing about go ahead and go the whole 9 yards and get the estrogen and the titties, you guys are the ones that decided that's not a point. Not me. I'm the one that thinks that there should be standards, and my standard, is biological female, but I believe there should be standards. You're the ones that are like, nah, as long as they say they feel like a woman, they should be able to pee next to little girls.
Yeah. I do love that the WNBA is having a little freak out session and having emergency meetings about this. That these people are so short-sighted.
I just want to see one of the team owners, and I know it won't happen because it's the WNBA, but one of the team owners be like, fuck it, I'm drafting that guy.
Right?
I want to win. I'm drafting him.
I hope Clay Travis actually could pull it off and get a team started because it would be one of the funniest fucking things. Because if they try and tell him he can't, now that he's actually said he wants to open a franchise in Nashville, they have no rules against what he's proposed. So there's a lawsuit waiting if they try and reject him. And I think that's why they're freaking out is they're like, we're kind of in a catch-22 because we don't want them to be able to do this. But at the same time, we got nothing that says he can't.
Nashville Balls. That would be great.
That's what he wants to call it.
Nice.
That's his team because it's like the Indianapolis Fever or whatever.
It should be Ballers.
Yeah, that'd have been funnier. But
yeah, the Nashville Ballers, because that makes much more sense and still conveys the same message.
But for their logo, it should be like two basketballs side by side in what looks like a scrotum shaped like a flame.
Monk, I'm getting a GB operator soon. What's a GB operator?
Gordon Bennett? I don't know.
I was going to Gigabyte, and I'm not sure. Congratulations. I just am not sure what it is. Okay, on our screen is Sarah McBride. If you guys don't know, Sarah McBride is the only trans woman serving in our Congress.
Poorly.
I can't believe that's something I actually have to say.
We live in dark times, dude.
A state representative, and then they actually ran for Congress, and a whole bunch of women were like, we want this guy dressed as a woman to represent us. You guys are kind of proving Freud right here. This is kind of looking like y'all just wish you had yeah. So Sarah has a message for us. Don't worry, we're not watching this. This is 4 minutes and 35 seconds of your life you'll never get back.
Yeah.
But Sarah has a message for us, you see. And specifically for trans people and trans allies, that she thinks that that they've done things wrong, Jack. They tried to cut off your family and stuff, and that didn't work. That was a actual plan that they had, is to disassociate with their family, and that they're so I guess important to the family unit that the family would just give up all of their rational thinking and be like, I'm so sorry, Sarah. Anybody know Sarah's real name?
Isn't it like Tim or something like that?
Probably. Something gay like that. Sorry, Tim, in chat. Now I feel bad.
Oh, GB operator it's an Epilogue GB operator is a compact hardware device that acts as a physical cartridge slot for your computer.
Oh,
Retailing
cool.
for about $50.
Sweet.
Lets you play, manage, and back up authentic Game Boy Color, and Game Boy Advance cartridges using emulator software.
Gotcha.
If I'm looking up the right thing, which I don't know.
Sounds right. GB would be Game Boy. Anyway, there's a new tact that they want to take, and it's being nice to people. And only the trans person needs to cut them off. You, as an ally, you shouldn't do that because we need to bring them in.
Right.
How many times you got to be told, hey, we're trying propaganda, join us? One, I love my children, but if one of my children tried this stuff that the trans movement has been doing, or the left in general, being like, fuck you, I can do it on my own, I don't need you anymore, I'd be like, I'm gonna miss that kid.
Have fun.
Yeah. If you're so willing to cut me off because of this, because I believe in biology, let's just call it what it is, right? We got to believe in science unless it's dicks and vaginas. Yeah, I'd miss him, Jack. I would. But I'm not going to be blackmailed by a retard.
And you shouldn't be. This kind of emotional blackmail is disgusting. And nobody should be doing that to their family.
No. And they're even coming out and telling you that the whole purpose of this is to indoctrinate people into their stupidity. Like, literally reject science. Reject science.
Browbeat them because they love you. What?
Timothy Ryan McBride. It's funny that Steve is telling me that the guy's name is Timothy, when usually I use Tim or Steve as the dumb name. And I called the name Tim gay. I don't actually think Steves are all dumb or Tims are all gay. I'm just sometimes hyperbolic on the show for humorous effect. And you might not find it funny, but I sure as fuck did.
Steve is my default American name. And if you're from another country, you're probably Pedro.
Look, that kid in second grade pissed me off enough that 50 years later, I'm still like, fuck Steve.
Yeah, you really do hold a grudge pretty well.
I do. That's why this kind of nonsense would never work on me. Like, I'm cutting you off. Be like, that sucks, but you do not realize how many people I have cut out of my life. I've just walked away from without a say. I'm a military brat. First of all, this is something we just get used to.
Yeah.
Like, one day he's your best friend. Next day, you're never going to see him again because his dad got shipped to the other side of the country. That happened more than once to me, Jack.
That's depressing, man.
Yeah, I mean, I think the longest I lived anywhere as a kid was like 4 years.
Wow.
Yeah. So even when dad gets stationed on the Guadalcanal, and we're actually there from the time I'm 10 till I'm 17. But even then we moved because we lived in Navy housing and then in private housing and then back in Navy housing. So it's just part of my life. Be like, okay, that person's not in my life anymore. And then you look at people like my grandmother and like, you wrong me. And this isn't some shit like we just had a minor political disagreement. You wrong me, and I'm like, all right, you don't exist anymore. I don't give a fuck. That's not an issue for me. But it's not something that I do. Like, if like my son tends to be, he's borderline commie, but I still love him very much, and I know that actually discussing things with him is a much better way of changing hearts and minds than being like, fuck you, commie. Because that doesn't really achieve anything.
No.
But anyway, old Sarah Tim here has decided that the current trans way is the wrong way, and you got to be nicer to the people who think that because you were born with a penis, you're actually a man, so that they will eventually accept you as a woman.
Yeah, this really is an emotional manipulation blackmail.
It is.
I hate everything about this.
So much of liberal propaganda is emotional blackmail.
Yeah.
I mean, we were talking about abortion earlier. 99% of abortions are abortions of convenience, but what is it when they talk about abortion? Like the health of the mother or rape and incest. You mean those things that rarely happen? All right, fine, fuck it. We'll leave carve outs for those. No, that chick, she's not going to be able to go clubbing if she's pregnant. She might not become a goat-voiced bitch that sings for Fleetwood Mac if you make her have the baby.
Think of what it'll do to her body. She'll like get fat and stuff.
It's amazing how much that is permeated, because even conservative women say that stupid shit.
Yeah.
Anyway, is he accidentally admitting they were the ones who were intolerant to the normal family? Yes, but without saying it that way, because you can't put it that way. Remember, it's okay to be intolerant of intolerant people.
Yeah, that's why you can't have a conversation with a fascist, and you have to bash the fash, because your enemies are always going to be the evil ones, and it's not okay to be accepting of them, but they have to give you unconditional acceptance. That's how cults work.
Staying.
Frost.
Oh, what's up?
I got a super chat here. Thank you, Frosted Glass. I admire using the trans ideology against itself, but if this guy is taking advantage of the "there's no rules saying you can't" thing, I think he's obligated to go full Airbud and recruit a dog too. I want to see trannies chasing down golden retrievers.
I would actually watch that movie.
I would buy those jerseys and cheer the dog on every time, especially if it's a golden retriever, because they don't want to play with everybody.
My middle child, my oldest son, was a huge Air Bud fan. We had like every Air Bud movie there was.
Oh yeah, I've seen most of them because of my nephew.
I've never seen one of them.
Yeah, they're pretty terrible. They
I
get worse
imagine.
as they go.
It's a dog playing basketball, baseball, soccer, football. What else does he play? Did they ever put him on ice skates?
Yeah, I think they did have like a hockey one of some kind, or lacrosse or some shit. I don't know. They're rebooting the franchise. There's a new movie filming apparently.
It's clearly made for kids, and kids really did like it. It's dogs jumping around and being. I mean, if I was a kid, I probably would have liked it, but
yeah,
as an adult, I just couldn't bring myself to watch a dog playing basketball.
Yeah, well, it's like Three Ninjas. You know,
Yeah.
If you're like 6, you're like, this is awesome. If you're like over 12, you're like, this is stupid.
On your screen is Warren Smith. That's his name, right? Yeah, Warren Smith on the right side there. And a fat white lady on the left. I don't think I actually have to show her speaking to it's a white lady.
Just looking at that picture, you can hear her voice.
This is a college graduate. She's a college educated woman, and they're having a discussion on DEI. We're not going to watch the whole thing. I can throw the clip in the chat if you want me to, but he's going over in the full clip. It's him going over the clips of this thing, which is why we're not watching it, because I don't have just the uninterrupted. But all we need is the way it starts to get the gist. Thank you, Albatross. There's an Air Bud sequel where a bunch of puppies go to space, LOL. Oh, right. Didn't they have a whole puppies offshoot?
Yeah.
Yeah. Which are adorable. Oh, speaking of which, the new season of Reacher came out, and there's a kitten in one of the episodes for only like 20 minutes, and then they give it away to somebody. And I was so sad that it's not part of the whole season.
Best character in the show, probably.
He was adorable. And for anybody who likes Reacher, the new season, the first 3 episodes launched yesterday, and it seems like a return to form from season 1. I like season 2 and 3, but they're not as good as season 1. So far, season 3 has me hooked, and I hate that I have to wait for the rest of the season. What is this? Olden times where shit only comes out once a week?
Soon they'll be putting commercials at. Oh wait.
Ugh. Oh, they're releasing a episode each week leading up to September 16th when it'll be the finale, and then Neely is releasing the offshoot of it based on the Neely character, and those are all dropping at once. And I was talking to my wife about it. She's like, "Oh, that's because they don't have as much faith in that character."
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. That's either going to be really, really good or really, really bad. And I hope, based on what I've seen on it, that it is really good, because it doesn't seem like they just make her a monster like he is, where you can just beat up anybody. She actually has to like use guns and weapons and shit, which makes sense because she's a little girl.
Yeah.
And I hope they're smart enough to like not turn her into a Black Widow character who's using her thunder thighs to take down men 3 times her weight.
Girl power.
Girl power. Anyway, so on to White Lady here. They are discussing DEI.
And you can debate it. You can't be racist against white people. You can be prejudiced against white people.
You can't be racist against white people, but you can be prejudiced against them.
Distinction without a difference much.
Those are words that came out of her mouth that she said unironically, thinking she was being intelligent.
Yep. Well, this is what you get. And this lady just graduated a few weeks ago too, when this was filmed, because she says that in one of the clips that she just graduated a few weeks ago. So it's not like her debate style's rusty or anything. She should have all this stuff, like she should be as prepared as he is.
For the record, you'll see on the background there, it says Bridge USA. This is what a lot of people talk about when they're like, DEI didn't die, it just turned into Bridge. They're still pushing DEI through Bridge, hoping that they can rebrand it, but this is their new talking point. Their old talking point under a new banner.
Racism implies a power imbalance.
Where'd you learn?
No, it doesn't. Racism does not in any way imply a power imbalance.
Nope.
You could be the only white person in an all black area and not in the US, because in the US they're like, no, you can't. Let's say you're in the middle of Africa, you're in Nairobi, and you're the only white guy there. You have literally no power, and you could be racist.
Yeah. Yeah. In fact, you're probably going to meet a lot of people that don't like white people there.
Yeah.
Although Nairobi is really fun to say.
Yeah, it's probably why it came to mind.
Yeah.
Because the Congo is probably a much better point for that example.
Yeah. Well, it is what it is.
But this whole nonsense, this was some shit liberals came up with to excuse their own racism against white people. Like you have to have a power. No, you don't. There's nothing about racism that requires a balance power imbalance, motherfucker.
That was funny.
Monkey just had a stroke. Anyway.
That's just how it is. That there's no way to arrive to that.
You can say it's just how it is.
That is.
So
I'm
when
sorry.
people say, well, black people have to use separate water fountains, because that's just how it is. I'm sorry.
If that's how you want to take it, that's how you want to take it.
That is what you said, lady.
Yeah. Your excuse when you are down to that's just the way it is. There are times that's appropriate. Like 2 + 2 is 4. That's just the way it is.
Isn't that a normalcy bias?
But that's just back. You go back, and if you add 2 + 2, it always equals 4. So saying that's just the way it is affirming the truth. Saying that race has to be related to power imbalance. No, it doesn't. Racism has nothing to do with that. And saying it at that point, yes, it's exactly what you just said. It's a fallacy, as our college folks like to tell me.
Yeah, and this whole thing with power imbalance was just added in within what, the last 15 years or so?
Yes.
Because that's the only way they could get around sounding like anti-white, basically.
Mhm. It was their way of, because by this time racism is basically dead. It's dying. It's going away. The systemic racism that did exist has all been excised from the country through various different law changes. And so they still needed something to push their nonsensical bullshit. And so they came up with, in order to be racist, only white people can, because they have all the power. Jack, how much power do you have?
None.
Yeah,
I'm
me too.
incredibly poor, and I have no influence.
I guarantee you somebody like Representative Donalds, who's running for the governorship of Florida, has way more power than I do.
Oh, yeah. Yeah.
You know, being a sitting United States representative and probably the next governor of Florida. But hey, I'm white, so I got all the power.
I have. Oh, wait, that's He-Man. Never mind.
It's such a stupid talking point that they came up with, but they thought it was important, and the liberal press ran with it, and that has become what a lot of kids are taught in college. And we told you over and over again, any stupid shit happening right now started in a college.
Yep.
Whether we're talking about the rise of communism, that all came from colleges. Marx died broke as fuck because nobody cared about his shit. And it's not until years later that college professors picked up his nonsense and were like, look at this. This makes total sense.
Yeah, he had like a small group of followers, but the guy was a freeloading mooch that refused to work and just parasitically leached off other people. He was a piece of garbage.
Who grew up rather privileged.
Yeah. Yeah.
But he was lazy.
Ingalls is basically the one that was supporting him for ages, and Ingalls' family. And Marx was just a piece of shit Nepo baby.
Thank you, Frosted. Okay, now I feel obliged to pitch my Air Bud movie. It's a prequel about baseball in the 1920s. After the "there's no rule saying a dog can't play" line, a black guy tries to join the team, and they tell him there is a rule against him playing. Yeah, that would
Now, I would watch that movie if his name was Bud and the entire movie is him dressed like a dog playing baseball.
I would only support that movie if they did it sincerely and it was an Oscar bait type movie.
Oh, that'd be good.
Wouldn't it? Like they let this dog play, but they won't let the black man play, and then it's all about how they eventually let him play.
Oh, you could make it like Jackie Robinson is the black guy and just say inspired by true events.
Air Bud twists his ankle, so they got to go with the black guy who showed up in uniform, even though he's not on the team, you know? And he hits the game-winning home run, not just a home run, but a grand slam with 2 outs and the count at 3-2. Oh, hell yeah.
When the ball goes over the fence, it hits a Klansman in the head.
Yes, and it explodes just like when it hits a scoreboard. They do this spark.
Yeah. There's sparks everywhere, and there's big dramatic music and some lens flare. Like, get Michael Bay to direct it. Good times.
Anyway, this is what kids are being taught. This is what they're being taught, is that we have to base things on race, but you can't base things on race. I mean, that's basically what she gets to in here. And it's amazing watching him try to communicate with this idiot.
He is trying so hard to be nice, but you could tell that he got frustrated really early on in this because she doesn't listen. She's not willing to concede when she's wrong, and she's kind of stupid.
You kind of is being very, very nice here.
Yeah, I know.
But hey, some college got a bunch of your tax money to give her a degree.
Oh God, yeah. Hey, can we talk about how so many of these people that we encounter like this all are really fugly?
I mean, I want to agree with you, but I have seen pretty ones that say the same stupid shit.
Yeah, but they're the outliers.
Sure. I don't. When it comes to how ugly she is, it's her thinking that is the most ugly to me.
Oh, I absolutely agree, but it's just it's frustrating to deal with these people, and they get uglier the more they talk.
Warren is often on Brian Shapiro's show. He got banned for a while, then Brian let him back because nobody was watching without Warren coming on.
Yeah.
It's a true story. They just had an argument the other day over whether Charlie Kirk was racist. And he's trying to explain to Brian what Charlie meant when Charlie said that if he saw a black pilot, he would question his qualifications. And Ben there's like, but why would you question it? Because he's black. And he's like, well, if your goal is to get more people in there of a certain color, and the only way you can do that is by lowering the standards, then every pilot becomes questionable.
Yeah, exactly.
And Charlie didn't do himself any favors by specifying that as a black man. He should have drawn out the argument more and been like, I would question any pilot because the standards were lowered because they wanted more black people in. But they never go to the final point of that, right? Like YouTube and Google specifically has tried for years to get more black people and more women in the engineering roles.
Yeah.
Not in the front office where they can have their big picture and show everybody how many women's work there, but as actual software engineers. And they can't do it because they still have standards. The only way to get them in there is to have people who are interested in the job but not good at it. And for the record, they're all Asian. Let's just be, they're 99% Asian or some shit like that. So it's not even like it's all white men or anything. No. It's that the people who seem to be taking that job seriously and wanting that job are Asian.
Yep.
Not women, because there's nothing keeping women out of becoming computer engineers other than women not wanting to become computer engineers. So how low do you have to lower the standards to get it to where women are like, oh yeah, I'll do that job? Apparently you got to give them wine on tap.
Yeah. Well, those are usually like their social media managers or HR. They're not even the like engineers or developers or anybody of a STEM field. There's some role that's required so they don't get sued.
Steve says, but if they only recruit black people at lower standards, they can't. That's why I said Charlie should have done the full thing, because and this is Warren makes his point over and over again, is that standard has to be lowered for everybody.
Yeah.
But
they still need stuff to work.
Yeah, the only way you can do the separation like that, where you have different standards, is with men and women in physical roles. And we've seen that with like fire departments in the military and that kind of stuff. But when it comes to just color, you can't do it. So everybody becomes questionable at that point. Just because, let's say the normal pilot is white, right? Because white guys love flying. I don't know why we do. We just really do.
Suicidal.
Maybe. When you lower the standards so that you can get more, let's say you want more black men, but in order to do that, you have to allow, 10% more crashes on the simulator. Well, it's not just black men who are crashing more. It's going to be white men too. And you're still going to have a higher number of white men applying. So all you've done is made it more likely that somebody's going to crash a plane, and it could be either of the colors. You have no idea which, because there are black pilots right now who the standards didn't have to be lowered for. And that's how it should be. Just don't lower the standards.
Absolutely. Yeah. Well, I mean, yeah.
And DEI necessitates lowering standards, because now you're trying to get in people who aren't as studious as the people who failed. The people who failed are probably better at the, like, let's say there's a black pilot right now. He really wants to be a pilot, but he crashed one too many times, and like, sorry, bro. He still gives more of a shit than when you lower the standards and somebody meets those new standards, because at least he was trying.
Oh yeah, absolutely. He had the drive to do it.
He had the drive, yeah. And that now it's so I can get this job without trying. Let me go do that.
Well, look at what they've done with CDLs. They've been handing that out to people that can't even speak or read English.
Yep. When you lower the standards, the group that comes in, all of them, white, black, Asian, male, female, all of them are suspect, because the standards are lower for everyone. They don't necessarily have to lower the standards, just look the other way at the right time. Sure. But then you can run into a paper trail. There's a great moment I wish I could talk to Warren Smith directly, because in his little debate with Brian Shapiro. Brian Shapiro's like, just give me one example of where standards were lowered and something happened. Just give me one. And Warren can't do it. I can. They did this for F-14 pilots, and 2 women got killed.
Yeah. Well, they've done that several times with the women pilots in the military, haven't they?
Yep.
Where, like, that one helicopter that ran into a plane last year or so, we talked about that story.
Yeah, I don't know if they lowered her standards, but for the F-14s, they absolutely did. The 2 pilots that ended up dying there, and by the way, it's 2 separate crashes.
Yeah.
They weren't the Rio and pilot of one F-14. These were 2 different ones, but F-14s were the cool plane, and they desperately wanted to get women pilots in there. And there were 2 that did okay, Jack. But then there were 2 who their commanding officer was like, absolutely fucking not. No. And the military was like, but we need a women's. And I forget how the one died, but the other one missed the boat.
Yeah, wasn't she trying to land on an aircraft carrier? Is that how that worked?
And she overshot and went off the edge, killed her in a Rio. So, yeah, when you lower the standards, bad shit happens. Now, I know Brian would be like, but that was so long ago. It doesn't matter. It makes the point. You lower the standards. I mean, this is their own commanders were like, no. But vagina, no. Vagina, 2 dead people.
Yep.
Good job.
Well, and God knows how many other people have died because of, in air quotes, training accidents.
Sure.
Because they lowered the standards and the wrong person got in there and killed 6 people on a helicopter or something.
Well, especially with the F-14. I mean, only the best of the best flew that, because it was a notoriously hard plane to handle. And you're trying to land it on a fucking floating football field. So only the best of the best men were allowed to fly that plane.
Yeah.
And they're like, but vagina, you're not helping anything when you're lowering standards. All you're doing is putting people in danger. I mean, we've seen that with like the firefighter thing. Like, okay, as a man, you need to be able to, firemen carry 200 pounds. I don't know what the actual thing is. And then for women, it was like, you need to be able to drag this bag of flour. Which is great if that firefighter comes to your house and you're like, could you please save my bag of flour?
Yeah, if you're Peter Dinklage, you're fine, but probably not for the rest of us.
They're like, women want to do it. That's great. Women want to do it. I want to be an NFL quarterback. It's not happening. Because, you got to be good at the job. You got to be able to do the job. It's one of the reasons the sports thing really pisses me off, because sports was the last place that meritocracy actually mattered. Because all the ownership cares about is winning. That's their goal. We want to win. So we need the best person we can get for this role. And then they're like, or we can let guys play with girls. that one idiot that said Royce White needs to get the titties put in. They flashed up his NBA stats, and he played like part of a game, and he didn't score anything, so he like did nothing in the NBA. And if he gets into the WNBA, I guarantee you he'd be one of their best players.
Well, it'd be like that drunk guy that played against the Williams sister.
It'd be like Luke Thomas. They're, as a man, ranked 450 or something, and then as a woman in the top 10. Often number one. And like, there is no difference. Thank you, Gigi Evans. To be fair, that was the F-14 with the GE turbofan engine that flamed out harder than a drag show. Fair enough, but still the point stands is that it was a notoriously hard plane. And when you lower the standard so a chick can do it, again, there were two who did it. And there were several more on the way up who were doing fine. But they wanted to rush it, and they did rush it, and people got killed in the process. So, yeah. It was carry a 12-stone man and run 100 yards when I tried out for the fire department. Should have told him you were a chick. You'd have just had to grab some cooking stuff and carry it. Again, if a woman can do the job, let her do the job. I don't have a problem with that. I really don't. I have a problem with when they decide that you don't need to meet the standards. And especially in something like a firefighter, you're literally putting lives at risk. And they're like, it'll be fine. She really wants to be a firefighter. And again, this is why sports, it was the last place where, merit mattered. Leah Thomas, whatever the name is, they should have never gotten any. They should have, died in obscurity as the 450th best male when he was in college. And instead, he gets an award that he split with somebody else, but he got the trophy for it because they wanted to look good on a magazine cover.
Yep.
As he beat up on girls. LA Assistant Fire Chief Christine Larson says she can't carry a man out of a fire because he got himself in that situation.
Yep.
That's really true of arson. You're sleeping in your house and somebody sets it on fire. Well, that's your fucking fault for sleeping when there was an arsonist running around. She can't carry a man out of fire because she's a woman. And most women can't pick up most men. It's actually kind of funny because if you ever see couples hanging out, right, you'll see a skinny little guy pick up his fat girlfriend.
Yeah.
But you don't generally see it. Even the fat girlfriend won't pick up her skinny little man because she can't. These are truths. Can some women lift some guys? Sure. Do you want to bet that female firefighter can pick your ass up knowing that they lowered the standard so she could be one? I don't. I really don't. And if that pilot overshot the carrier deck, that's not a flameout. That's true too. But carrier landings themselves are not easy. I know our military is so awesome that they make it look like routine. That is dangerous every fucking time they do it. That is not some. Our boys just make it look. They're our boys. They're there to make us look good, and damn, they do a fine job. But that is a dangerous fucking thing they're trying to do. Land on this tiny little strip in the middle of the ocean with waves coming in. I was watching a World War II documentary, and they were talking about the Doolittle raid and how to get those planes off. They were actually watching the waves and waiting for the wave to ride up to launch the planes to give them a chance to actually take off. And I'm thinking, and these are guys who know they're flying to where they're not coming back. They're going to, if they're lucky, make it to a small airfield in China, which becomes a non-factor very early on. And almost all of them, I believe they all ditched their planes. But can you imagine being that guy? Like, all right, what we need you to do is jump in this plane. This is not meant to take off on this air or on this airstrip, because there really wasn't that. They took all of the excess shit out of the Doolittle bombers that they took because they needed to make them as light as possible to take off of an aircraft carrier. And there were boys who were like, yeah, fuck it, sign me up. Yeah. Anyway, flame out on a go around and you're dead. Well, I mean, flaming out anywhere is not real good, especially if you're coming in for a landing and you flame out. You're pretty much dead anyway. But yeah, there's flaming out is not a good thing. If I remember correctly, the engine did flame out when she gave it the full thrust. Ironically, that would also cause a flame out in those engines. If I remember correctly, she didn't go full thrust. That was the problem. When you land, you're supposed to go full thrust in case you miss the tail hook on the cable. You guys do know how carrier landings happen, right? The plane comes in, it's got a tail hook, it grabs a cable that's on the deck, and that's why when you see the planes come in, they almost look like they roll back a little bit. But you're supposed to go full throttle in case you miss, so you can fly off the edge. And if I remember correctly, the bitch forgot to go full throttle. The one thing I do know is that that death is attributed to the fact that they pushed her through when she should not have been qualified to fly that plane. Anyway, Jack, that is well over the 2-hour mark at this point, and I think I'm going to wrap this up and go play a game.
Okay.
Yeah. So, guys, thanks for hanging out with us today. Thank you for the donations. You guys are so very kind. Sorry about yesterday. I just fell asleep. So what happened? I had full plans. Lady Monkey even asked me, like, did you do a show? I'm like, no, I'm doing it later tonight because the election results. And then I fell asleep. Whoopsie. So, yeah, that's my bad, you guys. Thank you for showing up anyway, because you guys show up no matter what time I do this, what days I do it, and you guys are awesome for that. Jack, anything you want to show?
I dropped a couple of links in the chat. As always, guys, thank you so much for all the support you give us. Thanks for the tips. It helps keep us with power and cable, so it's greatly appreciated. You guys are awesome.
Have I hit anyone with a shovel lately? No. But if I find whatever ate my onions, I'll fucking kill it. I've finally gotten some stuff out of my garden, Jack. Just cucumbers so far and strawberries. But the tomatoes are finally growing. Not as fast as I want, but they're in a bad place. They need more sun. It just is what it is. Next year, I have a much better place to put them. But I am still enjoying going out into the garden. But when I went out yesterday and saw that all of the green had been eaten off of those fucking onions, I was so pissed. Like, I will find you and I will kill you.
My name is Inigo Montoya.
Not even going to use a shovel. I'll choke that little rabbit or whatever the fuck it is with my bare hands. Anyway, Jack, anything you want to show?
I dropped some links already. Thank you, guys. You guys are awesome.
What does it say? Use Mylar to reflect light onto them. I don't know if I have anywhere where I can put them. Or see, the problem is that there's basically a full canopy of leaves, and I mean, I'm also up on a hill, and from my hill you can see a highway, and the only place where I could put that there to catch the sun and shine it on the garden would blind the people on the highway. Which, I mean, is really their problem, right? Not mine. It really is just the way it's set up. And yeah, because literally where I would have to put it, it would blind and people driving up this road. So it sucks. Live and learn. That's all. It's only it's my first year with an actual garden, and I made mistakes and I learned from them. So next year it'll be much better. So Monk used the space laser. I wonder if my Jewish friend, I am a Jew. Can I get control of that?
I think it's a timeshare. Like you have to sign up on a chart and you get it for like a day or two.
Damn it. Plus, they'd
I'm
look into
not
it and probably
positive
be
on
like,
that. I'm not Jewish.
they'd probably tell me that being called a Jew online doesn't actually make you one.
I know, but I mean, a lot of people seem convinced by your one day a Jew, one day not a Jew. So
I wonder if I could use that to like get a free trip over to Israel. I don't care about going, but I mean, it's a free trip, right?
I don't know. You could go see that wall everybody makes out with.
I'll have to ask Ben Shapiro. Hey, I've been called a Jew online. Can I get a free trip to Israel?
Yeah, does that count? Does that make
Is that enough?
You got to be careful with that. They might draft you while you're there.
That's true. I didn't do my IDF service. Anyway,
at your age, that probably won't be very fun.
Yeah, but think about the steady paycheck.
That's true. That's true. It would make the shows more interesting when you're under fire and we're doing a show.
And it's a Jew paycheck, so I imagine it's pretty decent.
It will clear too.
Don't got to worry about it not and can get some of my American tax money back. Jack, pleasure as always.
Always glad to be here.
Guys, take care of yourselves. I made myself laugh way too hard with that one. Take care of yourselves. We love you. We'll see you on the next one. Bye now.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, I'm not singing tonight either. Bye, guys. Yes, I am. Fuck, I'm a bitch.